All right, there we go.
Hey.
We are in action. What's going on, everybody?
Not much. Not much at all.
Hi. Before we spring too headlong into this, Leslie wanted to show me and everybody else a thing that Lacey picked up for Betty.
Called it.
So I'm going to go to full screen and try to zoom out as much as I can. So give me just a second here so you guys can... Whoops, wrong one. Forgive me. There we go. 1 second. Let me get my full cam up. Where are you at, camera? What's going on? Hello?
Oh, you got a border.
There we go.
You see her already?
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
There you go.
A dog stroller. Technically a baby stroller, but now a dog stroller.
Betty.
She's such a potato.
She is.
Why? Hey,
baby.
I slept with that. Be nice.
Hey, Betty.
Who's a good girl?
Yeah, Betty is... She's old.
Very old.
old.
She's a rescue.
Yep.
She's got bad hips.
She's got bad hips,
But
bad
she
legs,
Still likes being outside.
no teeth, mostly blind,
Partially
mostly deaf.
My type of pup.
Yeah.
But she's a rescue.
She's a
our
rescue and she's just hanging in there. She's also very excited right now.
Oh, look at the
Got a
kitty.
chair?
She's got a chair.
Look at the kitty, yes.
Everybody's, look at the kitty.
Hey, girl.
I'm gonna fix it so that there's no little gap down there. I'm gonna put
Oh Lord, she
a
coming.
cushion,
Yeah.
cushion on this, and I'm gonna put a.
Hey, do me a
piece of
favor.
cloth
Don't
in-
lean down.
I'm gonna put a piece of cloth.
Don't do that either. Could you? I need you to go now. Go. Just. Goodbye, Betty. Bye, ladies. Take the fucking cats. Get out, cats.
She is the one.
Dress.
Lord. All right.
The greatest thing about Betty, though, is that she breathes like she runs on diesel.
They love your dresses. Yeah. I'm sure they say doggo, cute doggo, fucking chonk. Came back to doggo, so
what a
cute.
honkin' chonker.
Yeah. Oh Lord, she's a coming. Yeah, that's what they said.
Love you.
Love you too. Okay. All right, let's fix this camera again. Because you guys don't need to see the rest of my office for any reason. That's my face. And fucking back to game. Yeah. There we go. Okay. We're good now. Welcome in, everybody. Hi. Sorry about being late. You know, shit happens, right? We're here now. How's everybody doing?
Good. I'm actually doing really good.
I hate my
I
life.
have like 4 projects due by the end of the week, so you know,
Just thought I'd sneak that in there.
slowly dying.
Nah, I'm there with you, Andy. Don't worry.
What? You hate your life? Well, all you can do is fix it, right? What's so bad about your life right now?
Fucking work.
Well,
Yeah, I need to
okay,
stop doing that.
maybe can't
Look,
fix that.
just tell your
much.
boss to fuck himself. I keep telling you this every week.
You know, I did that.
Then you don't have to worry about
Then
going
I got,
to work anymore.
Then I got 3 days off.
I told him to go fuck himself, and then he locked himself in the office with some Jergens.
You're gonna need to find some kind of investor, my guy. Someone that's gonna invest in them cheeks. I mean,
Yeah.
there's already value there, as we've seen. Just good luck, you know. I don't know
Yeah.
too many people investing in sweet little Canadian lads.
Yeah, just hope
Yet.
that he's
You know,
gentle.
Fucking talk to Robert Kraft, apparently.
it's okay. It's confidential. You won't ever know about it.
Oh boy. Alright, so there's a couple of new people in here. I've seen some names. If you guys have never seen this type of game before, this is
I've
Pathfinder
never
event.
been here before.
You liar!
Deja vu. I have been in this place.
Liar. Yeah, this is a very different kind of tabletop game than you might expect out of something like Critical Role, or sometimes even Roll for It, or other large productions like Table Story or Geek and Sundry productions. Anything like that. This is more akin to a bunch of friends sitting around a table, shooting the shit, and making jokes while attempting to roleplay. Which lately, admittedly, the roleplay has been really good. Yeah, it's been a lot stronger, I think. Pretty much from everyone. It only took 4.5 years, but Austin's finally got a character, boys. He's got one that he's just a pro at.
You keep saying that. I love Cicada.
So okay, listen. All right, so you played.
Okay, you got a character with depth now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like my other characters, like Kimia and Rasasi, they had depth. They just died.
They didn't have depth. One was about apples. The other was about spitting into a bottle and shoving it
Kimia
up
had
people's throat.
one episode with apples, and then it was a reoccurring.
And then every fucking episode after that was about your bag of fucking apples. Don't even hit me with that one episode bullshit. Sorry, it's been a wild day.
Need a bag of holding that just has confetti in it.
Yeah, exactly, and then I can just throw it around and go, pew! Right?
No more characters that you turn into memes.
No, you don't even know, Sniper. You don't even know. You don't even fucking know.
There's some history shit right here.
I think Jared had the best experience with bags of holding. Thank you very much.
Yep. And I would say that Rasasi and Sun both had depth, except Rasasi died after 2.5 weeks.
Little Patches, Forgotten Dreams Gaming, Mr. McLion, Death Cult Assassin, Mr. Wednesday. Mr. Wednesday, what's going on, man? Fish Food is here. Hi, Fish Food. Great. Was it Great Oogly Googly Moogly? That's the name? Right on. Sorry, None. And Kevster, also Harega. Welcome in, everybody. You guys are officially subs. You're subscribers. Enjoy your stay. You've got lots of new emotes. Spend them. That's 335, meaning you guys get 2 luck rerolls right out of the gate. Remember, guys, every 5 subs account for a luck reroll for the players up to a max of 5. So, the man himself. Wait a minute, you don't have any money. What are you doing? You better not be eating ramen to sub to the stream. You monster.
Wait, is that what you're not supposed to do?
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to make sure that you're eating happily.
Oh shit.
What if I'm happily eating ramen?
Nobody happily eats ramen. Don't.
I do.
No.
Yeah.
I definitely do.
You've just been conditioned to think it's happy.
He's not wrong.
Dude, literally.
Well, wait.
right here.
Let's be honest. Are we talking ramen or are we talking top?
We're talking
Both.
Like 11 cents.
I prefer instant cup noodles.
11 cents a
but I can't eat the other
microwave
one.
and half a cup of water, and
Like
you're
you take the
regretting your
whole
life.
cardboard container
Yeah.
and you buy
Yeah.
it for like
Oh,
$1.50.
You gotta
yeah.
remember that there are
That
now
shit's
ramen
great.
shops in most major metropolitan areas, so you gotta be a little more specific.
I could.
You don't.
I could
Everyone knows what you're
survive
talking
on
about.
ramen and be happy, except for my salt content.
Yeah, no,
The amount of
Again,
salt will give
you
me a second
think you're
kidney stone.
happy.
your blood pressure.
Maruchan has poisoned you.
That's right, they have.
It is a psychoactive, okay? There's
That's
a
right.
reason it's so cheap.
They sprinkle just a little bit of Coke in everyone. That way
You know,
they're just a
you know
little bit
who
more
else?
addicted.
You know who else said that ramen was delicious? The guy that was eating 6 bouillon cubes a day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't trust.
And
Wolves
had a
at
pyramid
Denny's,
of
though.
Cheese ball containers.
Yeah.
who
I'd say I'm not
admittedly-
even on that level.
admittedly said that he ate 12 cheese ball containers, the big tubs, in the course of a weekend. Are you really happily eating ramen, or are you just trying to exist in the same space?
Yes.
Look, if
Ramen-
you smile,
I don't want
if
to talk
you
about
smile
that because
when
that
you're
is
sad,
the most,
eventually you'll be happy.
He's just got like the pyrovision goggles, and he's like super. He thinks he's super
Oh,
happy
no.
with the ramen, but it's just like entrails.
I feel like there needs to be some backpedal on this, because I know that myself and Ronald alike, we had to have a conversation. Actually, it was all of our players in this game. Fucking look what you've done to me. Ronald included, and we had to talk with him, because every Monday or Sunday at this time, like every 15 minutes, he'd pop a cube, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
bouillon.
my guy, what are you eating? He's like, it's just it's like a flavor brick. I was like, what do you mean? Are you a fish? He's like,
Yeah,
no,
dude,
it's a
when he-
flavor brick, and he showed me. It was a fucking box of bouillon cubes.
yeah, that was.
And I'm like, wait a minute. You've been eating these for the months that we've been playing. He's like, yeah, I have about 7 to 10 a day. And I'm like, holy fuck, my guy, how are you not dead? How?
It's like an entire thing of soup stock without the water.
Yeah, that's
Those things are
I-
fucking pure sodium.
Sodium,
Like
yeah.
they are.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding. When he first brought it up, I was like half gagging
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Don't
Yeah.
believe you.
Like
I think half the chat is doing the same thing upon hearing flavor.
I was like, dude, you were legit killing yourself. Like
the flavor bricks that paved the road.
Yeah, I literally just
paved the road to the graveyard.
I went to a water cooler and I just fucking popped the nozzle and just left it just because I felt the salt from here. Just emailed like salt into my body. I was just like, no.
Hello, friends in chat. Not to be a downer or steal attention, but can I get a shout out and support for my dad today? He survived his first major heart attack this morning and is recovering. Things look good, but scared the crap out of me. Man, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, Celtic. That's
shit's terrifying.
Yeah, it is. It's really scary. I hope your dad's all right. You know, hope you're hanging out with him.
God, that pack of... Oh, God, that just looks so gross.
I'm curious.
It looks fine in the right context. But when you think about
imagining sitting there and having just a tub of them on your desk,
you know what You know what he looked at? He was probably like, "What? 5 calories a cube? I'm good.
0 trans fats?
Wow."
Look. There's a lot of new, hot diet fads. Just eat bouillon.
I swear to God, you said nude diet fads.
There's lots of new diet fads, but this one's the best. You look great nude when all you eat is cubes.
5 calories, I need like 400 of these a day. That's right. I gotta know. What's the
soup?
No, you jump in the ocean and make it a saltwater lake.
One beef bouillon.
Turn that shit into the Dead Sea.
Why is it spelled like that?
It's French or some shit.
It's bouillon.
Oh my God. Okay, one single beef bouillon cube is 910 milligrams of salt.
No, but what about the chicken ones, man? They're a little healthier, right?
Well, we'll see. The thing is that there are only so much calories, so you just have to make up the rest of your daily calories in flavor bricks.
He did say they were chicken, so 880 milligrams. Every time he would have it, he would say it's like a more condensed version of chicken in a biscuit. If you've ever had chicken in a biscuit before.
Dude's fucking wrong.
It's
I don't care what he says.
It's Wolf.
I know who it is.
Yeah.
I'm well aware of this, man.
Let's get off the topic of bouillon cubes and let's get this recap going.
All I gotta say is 900 milligrams of salt is so bad.
It's giving me a migraine thinking about
7 gallons of water.
It's not bad until you eat the 7th cube in the day.
So the average American consumes between 2,300 and 3,400 milligrams of sodium per day, and he was having 7 to 10.
Oh my God.
Let's just say on
7,000 almost.
On a good day, he was smashing 10 cubes at almost 9,000 milligrams of sodium
Every day. How do you not
a day, dude?
See, this is why when doctors tell you to treat your body right, they're just wrong. You can do shit like this and you'll be fine.
So what you're trying to say
to be preserved.
So what you're trying to say is that he almost had as much salt in his system as the average league player.
I did. I picked this up because I was curious. This entire can has 35 milligrams of sodium in it. Which, granted, it's not great to drink, but
Now, how many would you have to drink to match his sodium intake?
Dear God. What'd we say it was? 9,000 some shit? Yeah, I don't know. A lot. A fucking lot. Way more than I could put into my body in a single day.
Dude, fucking this whole container right here of fucking cashews is only 400 for the entire thing.
Needless to say,
for my pork rinds, the whole bag, 380 milligrams, and this is salt and pepper flavor.
That's a bag of flesh. It is a bag of flesh.
Yeah.
Strip the flesh, salt the wounds.
Salt his body. He's like a...
Strip the flesh, salt the flesh.
He was no longer alive. He was just well preserved.
Strip the flesh, salt the flesh, yum. Yes. That's third step. Profit, question mark? All right, guys. All right. So let's spring back into it again. I'm Bob. This is my cast and crew of Shackled City. We've been doing this now for 153 episodes. This will be 154 today. It's just a matter of time before most of us go insane, or they eventually become pros at this, I think. Yeah, in due time.
We don't become pros until you pay us.
Yeah, you jerk.
Well, I mean, with that kind of statement, I guess technically I'm not a pro because I've been running this for this long, and my pay is
But you do still get paid.
Yeah, more
sometimes.
So than us.
Sometimes some people like to wait 35 weeks before they catch up.
I couldn't imagine who would do that.
I can't
really
imagine
can't.
either.
I can't laugh too much. I'm a little behind. not that behind, but I am a little behind.
It's all right. It's all right. I trust you guys. You've been here for 100 and some odd episodes. You're not really gonna go anywhere. Yeah, we'll go with that. So, this is where we recap. We're gonna go ahead and hit a little bit of a micro recap of what happened last time we played, and then we'll spring right into, well, significantly more shenanigans. So, what did we do last time, guys? What happened last time on Shackled City?
All right. So last week before,
Jared was arrested.
Sniper got arrested. Jakob is currently incarcerated in the Cauldron prison right now, where we found out that Lady Kiana Green made a deal with a bone devil.
She did. She did mention that.
She sacrificed a part of her flesh, namely her ear, to gain to have the essentially the whispers of the devil in her ear to tempt her into giving up her soul or whatever it is she's offered the demon. But she says right now she's stayed pretty resolute in that.
Specifically so she could fuck up Jakob.
Yeah. And
so not only do you kill people, you drive them to make deals with demons about their soul.
Okay, so we came across the lowlights of the session. Let's go ahead and talk about how the entire crew fucked up without me even being present.
We could just roll right past that.
No. I kind of want to go through this.
As we continued on through the story, we found out that Klaus is now in complete control of his domain of Occipitus. With that, we were going there previously to acquire large sums of gold to fund the army for. Hold on, I think Bub said wait. Yeah, I noticed you cut out.
Try that again. Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So,
I remember what happened now. Makes me happy.
As we were going into Occipitus, we ended up going back to the Cathedral of Feathers, where we ended up picking up the statue of, and the god's name escapes me, but it's one of the demon gods of death. Orcus. The demon god of death. And he was the ruler of the 700 layer or something like that. Like one of the lower layers of the abyss.
Yeah, something akin to that.
Yeah. Seeing high value in the statue itself to an occult collector, we decided that it would be a good idea to take the statue. Realizing that the statue itself was several thousand pounds, we needed a way to transport it with ease. With some trial and error, we ended up finding out that Klaus could in fact control the beast that is Occipitus from the very flesh itself and split the Cathedral of Feathers in two, causing it to crumble to the ground, but thus making us to transport the statue. Getting back to the portal, this is where the big blunder kind of took place. As there's a big temporal difference between the two realms, we tried moving a cart through the portal, and as the temporal displacement started occurring on the side through Occipitus, the cart ended up shooting into the realm.
It did, and, yeah.
I mean, they could have gotten out of the way. They chose to hang on to the cart. Not sure why, but they went flipping through, and they sustained some heavy wounds. Klaus took a pretty heavy hit, and Thelsa, I believe, was knocked unconscious.
No. Thelsa enlarged person and
just concussive. It wasn't. It didn't bring me below my hit points, but it was enough. It was enough that I fell unconscious because of the blow.
Yeah. Ulhime, seeing the devastation of him and Cort's lack of awareness of pushing the cart through, steps through to help Klaus and Thelsa, healing Klaus with his healing touch, and then moving to Thelsa by lifting up her rib cage that had been broken due to the impact of the
smashed,
and mending it back into place using his divine magic.
Yeah, that's there was a wild moment there. I want to say it was almost kind of character defining. I think Annie already kind of knows what I'm talking about. You're a follower, even a champion of a particular god. That's Ouijas. And what are some of Ouija's core beliefs?
If you die, you should stay dead.
The dead need to stay dead. And were you dead?
Wasn't yet.
Yet, yeah.
I don't know if I was on that path, but we'll never figure it out because I'm not dead yet.
Correct. Which I think raises some challenge or suspicion to that line of belief. Either way, I definitely can tell that it may have piqued your character's interest to at least a degree. But continue on.
After healing up Thelsa, we ended up pushing the statue back through with the same effect, with the temporal distortion. It being shot into the temple caused the statue to essentially shoot into the back wall, right? Essentially, like just bullet into the back wall.
Yeah.
And shatter. The statue itself was completely obliterated, but on the inside, we end up finding a rather large chest that was essentially fastened, I think, within the chest cavity or within the bottom base of the statue itself. Ended up pulling it out, and it came to reveal this unusual artifact with a black void in the center of it with 3 shackles around it. Ulhime, upon touching it with the gauntlet, his finger melted.
Yeah.
And when he tried to inspect it, his vision had been blinded for, you said 2 hours?
Yes, it was. It was 2 hours.
2 hours. As of right now, we don't know exactly what the artifact is. We really can't look into it. It's probably going to use a stronger spell to analyze it. Probably Analyze Dwemer, I believe, is the spell.
Something akin to that, yeah.
Yeah, we need something more appropriate to view the item that we have. Not sure what it's for, but we have it in our possession. Ended the night with coming back into the town, and for the most part we started the process of pawning the statue, and I believe we had some of the books left intact.
Some of them, yes. You guys were able to retrieve quite a few things, but most of it was destroyed. There were a couple things that were not. What made it through?
The statue, because we reforged it.
Yeah.
The books that Thelsa was holding on to.
The goblet that Thelsa was holding on to.
The goblet that slid across the floor, which no one really questioned her
Cort
on.
had in his backpack, which was the coiled string, the tube with stuff in it, and the platinum antique music box.
There was also a necklace, was there not?
Yes, someone was wearing
the
it.
The lightning amulet.
I remember Reynold having it,
which gave 40% lightning reduction.
Not percent.
40 flat.
40 lightning
40
DR.
flat. 40 flat DR.
Absorption to lightning damage. When Klaus came in contact with it, it was either suppressing or absorbing a large portion of his essence, but when he pulled it away, he was okay.
All right.
And that's where we ended off.
So, I kind of want to know what's going through Cort's mind. Cort, you've had a lot happen in a very small amount of time. What's going on for you?
Cort Loki wishes Thelsa died in the cart crash, but beyond that, Cort went to hell.
Yeah.
And everyone was so blasé about it that he kind of held it in.
We didn't go to hell. We went to the domain of the first.
You're right. Only the
is where we
700th
went,
and 95th
okay?
layer of.
You show some respect to the owner of a plane. Okay.
Right, Will's cave.
That's not his cave. It's his dimension.
Or to be correct, we went to Klaus's cave.
You will respect the master of that dimension. Wipe your shoes before you step on the flesh.
Listen, man, I got shooters out here.
I'm not gonna like.
Is that what you call your
the way
clowns?
you're saying this is really weird. Like, I'm kind of getting like Uncle Ruckus vibes, and it's freaking me out. It's really kind of freaking me out. I don't know if I'm comfortable with this right now. I need you to calm down. You're like, listen here, boy.
Ronald's the only person who can do Uncle Ruckus in real life.
But,
You gotta get the one crazy
yeah,
eye, man.
It is his domain. I mean, that's honestly how
everyone
that's how
was.
Ulhime sees it.
Yeah, no jokes.
That's
It
his
is.
world.
Everyone was so blasé and like, yeah, we're just fucking in hell. Yeah, there's horrible demonic abominations casually bringing down temples at our word and whim.
Yeah.
Cort kind of just
You
put
know,
his head down and just kind of tried to go through it without dying.
to be honest, though, every time I think about the Abyss, I think of really horrible things, and then I believe, like, that shifts when I start thinking of the description of the Hell Hippo. You remember the creature that I'm talking about. It was a large, like, Abyss pachyderm.
Vagina mouth.
Yeah, that you said that its face looked like a Vagoo.
A Ripley Vagoo.
Yeah. Which it didn't. It didn't.
After you showed me the picture, I took back that statement.
I'm gonna find my book. Because, I mean, I need to for today's game.
Yes. So, of a JJ.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Galaxy.
The way he described it, I imagined it very Ripley-esque.
Yonic.
However, after seeing the picture, it turned out to just be a hippo.
It's
Well,
not
no,
Yonic.
no. You got to remember though, we said it looked like the Predator, and that was your reply.
Yes.
I don't even know where the reference came up. When he said demon hippo, I pretty much just assumed like a regular hippo, but it had gnashing teeth. That was literally it.
Yeah.
It's a hippo, but it's red.
That was like
It's a
Someone
shiny
took
hippo.
a paint bucket tool and just been.
like you didn't like nothing else needed to be added. Like red eyes, probably like
Oh my
6
God.
lined up on each side. Like I was like, okay, that makes sense. Cool, demon hippo. And then Austin out of nowhere was like, yeah, like a vagina. I was like, I don't know where the reference came from. Like, your source material for seeing one is questionable at this point because they don't look like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what kind of stripper joints you go to.
It's got a face.
I would say
I-
probably none.
Hold on. I almost posted it in the wrong chat.
Oh, look,
I
she's gonna
imagined-
drop and pop.
I imagine something like this, but hippo-like.
I want to find what this
Loading.
creature is called again.
That's what I was expecting, something like that, straight out of a fucking Ridley Scott movie. It wasn't. It was a hippo, but it
Was it
paint
before
bucket-
or after the Driders?
Before. It was before we made it to the temple.
It was before.
It was before the test with all of the oozes that were just scattered around.
I think they were called the Thunder Beasts, actually.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
you're right.
And yeah, Red, you show that, and it still doesn't come across. Like, I feel like you really needed not to skip that class in high school.
I just know that it's a common metaphor in almost all of his movies that he has things that are vaguely sexual in nature.
Here we go.
Yonic.
Like that if you go look at actual in-depth analysis of it, you will see that that's a very common theme.
There's a link to what the creature looks like, and he was like, "Oh, it's got a vagina for a face," and I was like, "No,
I
it
said
looks
that
like
before
a."
you sent the picture, and then you sent the picture, and I was like, "Oh, it looks nothing like that."
It looks so dopey.
It does.
Yeah, it.
But it's like the size of a fucking school bus. It's
Yeah.
huge.
When you drink water.
Yeah. God damn it. He a
I
big
could
boy.
see that being a mascot for a company somewhere.
I'm sure
just
it probably
plastered
could
on
be.
something.
Okay. All
It's
right.
a bathtub company.
Yeah, it's a bathtub company. I don't even know why that's funny to me, but I love it. Okay. I mean, I think we're good. As good as it's gonna get. The last part of the session ended with you guys trying to determine what all of these things did. You were fixing the statue, and what? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's pretty much all you. That's how you ended the session.
Reynold
right?
went to Mavu, and
I went back
like,
to Mavu's wife.
Tell me this shit.
Do you remember her name?
Well, I do not. Let me see if I have it.
Her name was Timothy.
No, her name was not Timothy.
Damn. I thought I had it that time.
No, yeah, you just brain shit the bed there, clearly. Missing the big details.
I do not, unfortunately.
Okay. She did tell you some things, though. You acquired a bit of information about her.
Yeah.
What did you find out about her?
She was also from the Osirian region.
Yes, she was from the Osirian region.
And she essentially taught Mavu everything he knows about selling and trading. That if I wanted to fund an army, I would need a large amount of capital, which is why we did the small shopping that we did.
It wasn't really shopping, it was more like stealing.
Yard sale.
It was not there was not a yard. It was literally a cathedral. It was a church.
Yeah, like in our friend's domain. He owns it. If he didn't want it taken, he'd be like, "Oh, hey, it's mine. Don't take it." He'd be like, "Okay, it's respect," you know.
Right. Okay.
Remember, he's got shooters.
Like realistically, like I mean, like it sounds funny, but if Klaus didn't want it taken, I wouldn't have taken it. But yeah, we she was telling us that we needed a large amount of capital to fund the army.
Yeah.
From there, it was essentially trying to get ahead of the Helms tax before it gets passed. So I would have to inform either Jared or the mayor, which I really don't want to talk to again, that there's no need for it. And I mean, based off what we have, that's where we're at right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm having her take her percentage of the profits because we have to do that when it comes to having someone else sell our goods.
That moment when you have a player that's not focusing because he's playing on his phone and you can see it in his glasses. I'm just glad he wasn't fucking looking at porn. Oh, speaking of which, I only
was
looked
looking over our tweets
because I wanted to ask you what's going on right now with Jakob. What do you think is happening with Jakob at the moment?
I would imagine that he's getting a cold hose and maybe a beatdown. He's kind of trying to make inroads with Tiny, but Tiny wants a little something in return. And
what is this something?
Just looking for protection, right?
Well,
rumor
may have gotten around that Jakob can do this one thing with his tail.
Ah. So is this before or after he tattooed tits on your back? I just definitely caught Danny. I love it.
Mavu's last name is Ronlert, correct?
No, his last name is Mavu.
What's his first name?
Well, I don't know.
Ronlert.
It's Mavu, actually.
Yeah.
Mario.
He's got a brother.
No.
I mean, so nice you gotta say it twice.
Squared.
They were actually just branded on his back, by the way, Bob.
They were branded?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
not really. Heat don't really affect me as much.
Yeah, but dry ice does.
Oh God! Why the? That's
bizarre.
definitely something.
Look, all it needs is
prison,
some dry ice and
dry
salt.
ice, some night.
Yeah, dry ice and salt. You'll have a few marks.
Little did you know, Tiny was a frost giant.
Nah, right now.
Get that image out of your
Straight
head.
up. No, Jacob's just straight up thugging it. He part of the block now.
Did you just have a stroke?
Yes.
He just straight up.
Yeah, dry ice flavor bricks.
Oh, his name.
Combo.
His name is Arlintal. Oh, I lied. His first name is Mavu. I thought it was Arlintal. It is. It's Mavu Arlintal. Yeah.
Mavu.
Mavu Arlintal.
And then his
It's now
wife's
forever
name
Mavu.
I don't necessarily know if you ever got her name. I don't think you did.
I'd like big.
I don't think we did.
Oh yeah.
To my knowledge.
Yeah, I don't think you guys actually did get her name, but she did let on to something. She hinted at one thing in particular, despite the fact that she taught her husband how to become a particular kind of salesman. She said some other things. Let's see. Can you remember what those things were? I think Sniper might remember because he brought it up. How did she learn how to sell things? How did she learn how to appeal to people?
Because she was from up north and was kind of forced to sell.
She was from Ronald's place.
Yeah, she was from Ronald's neck of the woods, and I think she had to learn how to sell because of how...
She was a slave, wasn't she?
She was bought and sold herself.
Yeah.
Her husband she hinted that she had taught her husband after he bought her. But you didn't really get all of the details. She was bought and sold in slave trade multiple times before inevitably she was settled with Mavu. Since then, she's had a family. Well, I reiterate, had a family. Much has since gone down from that point, but we'll come back onto that in the future. She told you you needed capital, and you needed to have a lot of money. If you wanted to fund an army, you needed a lot of money. So you're trying to find enough money to arm and armor whom?
The Blue Dukes orcs, who I already funded partially with 1,000 gold to get to their settlement fixed, because it was a shit show, for lack of a better phrase.
Somebody told you, though, that that money wouldn't be going to arming anyone.
She did.
Yeah? What did she think that money was going to be going to?
Ale, booze, food.
Yep.
But I mean, one, like Ulhime said, he's ignorant to these kind of things. But I mean, that's also why he's doing them, to learn. So. Okay.
Fair. All right. Then we'll begin today. Open floor. I'll let anybody sort of take this over. If you have something that you'd like to do, you are more than welcome to.
I buy C4 and I spring Jacob. No, I'm just kidding. That's not.
That...
Stab Thelsa in her sleep. Wait, what?
Wow. Okay, let's...
No, never.
Can we just have a session where Jacob goes through a day in the Cauldron prison? It's just a story about what a single day in the prison looks like.
He gets that chain gang life.
Jesus.
Turns out.
Well, that's weird because I can't hear anything. Forgive me. I'm going to refresh my page. It's not working on my end at all.
What are you talking about? I realize I still have sound turned off.
Since Klaus came into possession of Occipitus, the time flipped, and it's now a 10 or 1 to 10 instead of a 10.
Oh God!
So Jacob's been in jail for about 4 days.
He's been in jail for like about 4 minutes. But
okay, hold on just a second, guys.
Yeah.
I think
I can't hear any. Nothing's like playing on my end. Did it stop for you?
It's playing on my end, and it just stopped. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try this again.
Play the loudest.
There we go.
Just there you go.
I would say since Sniper had the last of the session, maybe he should start off again rather than.
I would have Sniper continue first.
Fair.
Y'all just really want to see what it's like for Jacob in jail.
Well, no, I'm. So you
want
don't
to know
have
what
to wait.
Jacob in jail looks like? Those motherfuckers forgot about me.
Didn't you have a tiefling with that Joe has hung around with?
Yeah, but why he's so sweaty?
No. I get nervous, man.
I'm all tiefling? No, I don't remember a tiefling. What did he look like? What was his name?
About?
Jackson.
Yeah, they come back and they find him in his jumper with the sleeves rolled up around his hips and his shirt twisted up and inside out.
You're fucking prison Mike. That's all you are.
All I'm imagining is you leaning out the bars like, Jacob, we came to get you. You guys don't know me anymore. I've changed, man. Dude, it's been like a day. Dude, life on the inside.
We've literally been gone
hard.
20 minutes. What happened?
I'm a changed
Where do I
man.
begin?
Can you give me a toothbrush? This motherfucker's 6 blocks down. He trying to start some shit. I'm gonna take him out in the yard. Let's go. Don't worry.
Motherfucker stole my pudding.
Don't worry. I'm gonna bring you some Pringles. That's right, some Pringles.
I would say, could you imagine a Magus with a toothbrush chip?
I was thinking about it. I was thinking, man,
Just a
I hope
lightning
to
bolt
God they
toothbrush.
don't give him a spoon with his gruel. Because he might try and escape with it. It can be considered a weapon!
I can imagine
there
him
he
walking
is, just,
around
like,
purposefully with that particular like pep in his step.
If you manage to break out of the Cauldron State prison, I feel like
Cauldron
Jared,
State Prison.
Cauldron State Prison.
Cauldron
I
State
feel like
Prison, the city.
I feel like that's the end
Not
of
the state,
Jared's
but-
existence because he's gonna hang himself because of you.
Wouldn't it be funny if somehow or another, the next day, all of the other prisoners have hung themselves?
I'd believe it.
They had to listen to your whining.
What
and bitching
happened?
for
I just
one
started
day.
talking!
It's at that point.
I was explaining why I was here, what's been going on in my life.
And then
It's Lapook all over again, man.
One by one, all I heard was stools falling down. I don't know what's happening.
There he was. He strolled in, looking like a snack. He called himself Jacob Rivers.
I wish I could say he won that fight.
That's right. But Jacob Rivers. Sniper,
Yeah, do your thing, Sniper.
the floor is yours. You've just been delivered some sort of startling news. You weren't wrong. Kiana Green does have some ability, and she traded it. She traded for it. She gave up her ear. She traded with a barbed devil. She told you that now she can see things. She can see the truth. No one can lie to her any longer. If anyone breaks the law, she's there to rectify the situation and make sure they're held accountable for their actions. And in that, she did also inform you that she hears him. The devil whispers evil things, goading her to do terrible, terrible things to everyone. But so long as there is evil in her city, she will not fall to the whims and the beckon of some lowly demon. She takes this gift, and she caught you. Or might have caught you. You got your own tricks. She left one of your hands free. The other is still manacled. You know that your somatic spellcasting has been drastically hampered. Higher level spells almost completely neutered. So long as it's just verbal, you'll likely get off those spells, but anything that you might try may see you skewered.
Yeah, and let's be honest, I'm in jail already. I'm already deeply afraid of getting pierced.
Sure, as those are the worst of your worries. Your reputation is... You could literally punch these guys to death with likely a single punch. You realize that.
Yeah,
Most
truth told, I could go ahead and electrify the whole block if I wanted to.
Hey, you're not at all terrifying, and you're worried about getting
Tentacles.
pierced.
I'm trying to be a good guy, okay?
Okay, that's
I'm
fair.
trying to live up to some expectations of somebody I know.
You were told that you're going to be seeing or facing trial. You've been accused of murder by multiple parties. At least 2.
Yeah, it's too late for me to go to college to learn how to be a barrister, right? They don't have like one of those learn in the cell things going on.
Yeah.
You could be barista though.
Yes, you could be a barista. That's very true. You know, things don't work out in the adventuring game.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have a really long neck when I do it, but
God damn it. So what are your intentions? What are your plans here? Do you just wait it out? Just hold on to anything that's going to keep you going here, this is your opportunity. Talk to me. Tell me. Narrate. Take advantage of the story. It's yours.
There's nothing to tell. He is in a spell-proof manacle. He's trying not to go ahead and do anything above and beyond stupid. He is going to sit there in his cell and hope like hell that Ulhime doesn't leave him in the dust. That's it. I hate to disappoint. It's not like he's going to have this deep inner monologue or start praying to the gods that he doesn't believe in.
A figure stands in a cell opposite you. You hear them moving through your bars. They move up. It's a man in a robe. Looks pretty innocent. Probably human, mid to early 30s, mid 20s, something around that range. Doesn't look very sick. Looks fine. He kind of sizes you up and down for a moment. You, Jacob? Jacob Rivers?
Yes.
I heard about you. People talk about you.
I have seemed to have grown in popularity lately. How'd you do that trick? Through the bars and everything.
What, you mean talk? It's bars, mate. You can talk through bars. Or do you mean stay clothed? Because they didn't take my clothes. Luckily.
I thought you said he walked through the bars.
No.
Yeah, I was in the same assumption that Sniper was.
Through the bars, your vision, you look through the bars in the open gaps in the other cell.
Okay, yes, it's already been established that I'm retarded. Let's go ahead and just pick it up.
Just gonna roll punches here. All right. All right, my friend. You know, they say things about you. They say that you got problems that follow you. Big bad ones.
I don't know if I'd say that they were big bad problems. I mean, they're good people deep down. One's a little egotistical, but no, they're not big bad problems.
That's what every criminal says. They don't have that many problems. They don't have problems of people that follow them. Everything's fine in their life. Then they wind up behind bars. A villain. A criminal. But you're not the sort, right? You're such a good guy.
Okay, admittedly, the turning over a new leaf thing hasn't been working out for me in Cauldron.
So who were you before then? If you're this person now, you're trying to turn over a leaf, what were you then?
A villain.
Villain? You think this is a tale? Some kind of hero story? You come to this town to save lads and lassies alike?
Such was the intention.
Well, that's not what they say about you. They say that you're a bit of a bloodletter. Wherever you go, someone falls. By likely the butt of your own blade.
Such has been the trend lately.
Maybe you haven't actually turned over your new leaf at all. Maybe you need to find another town. Or new friends. Someone who can clean up after your messiness.
I've already got good friends.
Is that so? They're here to your defense? I don't see them. Not much of a parade for a Mr. Jacob Rivers, half-demon man.
They were good enough to go ahead and keep me from doing something stupid.
Did they prevent you from doing something stupid, or were you just afraid of that big blue lot and the guard captain himself, plus his minx of a second in charge. Because they're right scary. I mean, honestly, I'm a bit afraid of them myself.
No, I'm not particularly scared of either of them.
Well, you must have big brass balls then, lad. You'll have to show me to your blacksmith. Because, they're scary lot. Now, the guard captain himself, he's not so bad. Seems like a right nice fella. But his second command, she's all justice and glory. And that other one, the big blue one, hey, something ain't right about him. He smells different. He acts different. So, which you seen a blue orc? I'd never seen one before. I knows magic as well. It's not right. Not right.
I've been running across stranger and stranger things this week.
Hey, listen. And it kind of like leans into the bars. Face on either side of the bars at this point. You ever heard of the last laugh?
Mutterings here and there.
What you think about them?
I think they're awful similar to what I'm trying to get away from.
Really? Well, I never thought their lot was that bad. I mean, sure, they handle things a bit more wryly than I like, but they get things done. They tend to cover up their own messes. Sure, it doesn't fall under the purview of the guard captain and his lot, but they like to keep things nice and clean. What's the last bad thing that they've done?
Oh, rumor has it they started a riot.
For what reason?
That was a little that was a little before my coming to town.
Taxes. The nobles. They're raising the taxes on the people. These people ain't got much money. Nobody comes here anymore. They hear about demons and vampires and a whole lot. We got these big fucking dark figures flying over from out our lake. You think we get tourists? No. We get nothing like that. Nobody comes to this town. Hell, our import-exports slowed down a lot. I've been watching the mother's exports. They've slowed down quite a bit. Not too many things coming and going these days.
Things may have been getting a little blown out of proportion. I mean, demons and vampires and yeah, that whole dark specter thing, that was just a cloud, I think.
Could be.
People are overreacting.
True. That could be the case. People tend to act a bit out of the sort when they get scared. Not themselves, it's for sure. But you know how many people died in that riot that you talked about?
4, 5?
One. One person died. See, that's what I like about The Last Laugh. When I think about them, they think, from my understanding, you have to crack a few eggs to make an omelette. And that man that died, I feel rightly sorry about hims and his, but his family's taken care of, from my understanding. I've seen them, and his wife and his daughter are taken care of. But he was a guard, raised the blades to them, and they just defended themselves. Isn't that what you've done this whole time?
Defending others, yeah.
And now look where you are.
You don't have to go ahead and sell me on it. I know all about the honor among thieves.
There is honor from my understanding, but I haven't quite got what they say is enough to make it in. I just don't quite... I don't have the gusto that they're after. You, though. You've got a reputation.
Here it comes.
Why don't you go find your lot? Try to lean in with them. They'll probably take you.
I know they would.
So what's stopping you then?
A good man trying to make me a better one.
And who's that?
Little dwarf I went ahead and came across. He's the reason I'm in Cauldron.
So you do have friends. You do have friends. All right. Well, it's fair, but friends make you weak. I had a friend once. Didn't go so well. He found me valuable until I just wasn't anymore. He sold me down the river for a bag of coin. And guess where I wound up? Right here. With you. That's right. Well, I suppose it's not that important. I've done some bad things I'm not too proud of, but you gotta do what you gotta do to stay alive, right? You have to feed yourself. You gotta feed your friends, your family, if you have friends, of course, and if you have family. And I have some. Not here. But I have some.
And if you don't have family, you make a family. Yes.
Well, we try
I
to.
know.
We try to. Wait. Yeah, you're some kind of sales pitch. Lad, I ain't selling anything here. I just figured you ain't got much else. Aside from your friend, this dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't rightly talked about anyone else. When I said family, you didn't say nothing. When I said friends, you said you got one. A man that's trying to make you a better man. When I said friends, you said you got them, but you only brought up the dwarf. So, not that it matters to me. I'm not losing any sleep over it. Just an idea. How long are you going to be here anyway?
Well, from what that green-eyed bitch has been telling me, I'll be lucky if I make it 2 or 3 days.
Right, they're pushing trials so fast. You must have done some bad things. Usually it takes a month. Hell, I've got 17 more days. I likely get stoned several times. Not to death. I don't want that in their heads. But they'll put me up somewhere like the gallows or a pillory. Slap me around with a couple of rocks. I'll pay for it. Man, still got to eat. And ain't much honest work around. So many people live. You see how many vacant buildings are out there?
Well, I do got some time on my hands.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to know about anything that's going on over there at the bathhouse, would you?
A bit.
I was told by a friend of a fella I once knew that there might be a guild house starting up there. Someone said that they're bringing in requisitions for stone, potentially marble, some new wood, sew up the damages, and bring some people in. You think they're paying much? Maybe if a line of work opens up, it's not so dastardly, I can find myself put to use. Do some good.
And what's it you do, aside from being a little, light-fingered?
That's it. That's it. I lift pockets, try to find out about people, what makes them tick. And I try to help where I can, but most people there, particularly in this town, are a bit greedy. They keep the purse tight, a little too tight. That's why I've been caught twice now. Bummed up my knee the first time, just a micro cocking. It's alright, I'll heal up just fine. But, like I said, I'll be slapped silly with stones, and they'll send me back on my way. Third time, though, I might be in trouble. That's why I'm trying to get into this this group of friends. Nice laugh. So I knows people many towns over. I ain't from this place originally. Meets lots of people. And hopefully that's valuable to them. Because it sure as hell ain't valuable to me right now.
Well, if they're anything like what I left behind, they can always find a use for somebody with good fingers. Though you might want to go ahead and turn your attention more to picks, especially in our circumstances.
Well, honestly, I'd rather go with the lot at the bathhouse if I could. Honest work's hard to come by, and
they'll keep you honest. They will definitely keep you honest.
I don't need much. He kind of pulls his robe off and lets it kind of fall back down, showing his figure. Ain't much to me, to be honest. I'm not much of a fighter. But I got a family. Like I said, I got a kid, a wife, and I'm just trying to send back to them. Make sure that they eat. She gets a chance that I never really had. I grew up in a small Pickwick place. Learned a couple of things here and there. Mostly to tend to pigs. Didn't really work out. Mother was a whore. Father was never around. But this is not some sad story. I don't want you to believe that I'm a sop that needs any kind of sympathies or your money, because, well, honestly, I don't think you have much of that. No offense. No offense. I don't think you have much of that, though. Because you certainly don't have much in the way of freedom, either. But you learn that the road teaches you things, and it taught me to live very carefully. Move light-footed. Yes. And sometimes talk my way in and out of trouble. Mostly in trouble. Mostly.
If you do manage to go ahead and survive the stoning, then yes. I think if you went by the bathhouse and actually spoke with a man named Ulhime, you'd be just fine. I think you'd find yourself in welcome company.
Oh? Well, you think he would take on my lot, then?
Yeah, he took on mine.
Well,
he's the friend I was telling you about.
He must be a saint, then, because you're a right awful fucker. You've been killing people. I'm just picking pockets, and you've been killing, but you're nasty. Right, deviant. Well, Jakob Rivers. He kind of puts his hand through the bars. It's a pleasure to meet you. You can't reach his. The name's Mir. And he offers a solid shake. Mir, right. It's me. Mir.
Well, Mir, for the likely short time that we're going to be neighbors, pleasure's mine.
You don't seem that bad. I don't know. I like to think I've got a keen look at people's. You see how good or bad they are. But who knows? You put a little blade in your hand, you might go wild.
More a victim of circumstance than anything else.
It's at this point that someone, a few cell blocks down, would you shut up? Mir kind of pulls back in. You got it. We'll talk later. Don't die now. Don't die.
Night, Mir. And he'll lean over. Good night, loud fuck.
Yeah. He goes on, doing his thing.
Better hope I don't find a shovel. I'll fucking whack you with it.
The minute I find a fucking fork.
Spork even. It'll do.
Yes. The spork was very popular in this time. So was their health coverage.
Yeah, you know, there's large amounts of plastic in Cauldron. It's a really big issue.
Though, of course, the best thing that they had was the spoon.
Yes, the spoon.
The spoon. It's a spoon.
Okay, got that. So, there's that character. Introduced. Available to you. You know him, the others don't. For now! For now.
Though he's definitely got Jakob thinking about whether or not he wants to try and make contact with the last laugh behind bars. Because if anybody's going to be offering protection.
Just because you're a bad guy does not make you a bad guy. All right, friends. Back to the other lot. The other 4 of you here. Tensions have been a little high, admittedly. The statue probably caused a lot of immediate grief. What was inside of the statue caused a fair amount more grief.
And loss of limbs. Or digits, so to speak.
I don't know what that noise was, but it was bizarre.
Phalange.
It was my mic stand when I went to unmute my mic.
Gotcha.
I need to spray some of this WD-40 on it, wherever the fuck I put it.
Doesn't it have internal springs?
Huh? Yeah. No, well, not internal.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, I don't know if that's gonna do a lot.
Hold on. Just gonna... Go ahead. Don't mind me. I have 1% on my phone battery. I'll do this at another day.
Jesus Christ, charge your phone.
Mine's at 5%. I got you.
What the fuck is with you guys? Why don't you
My
have
charger's
chargers
in my
at your desk?
room. It's in my
Why don't you
room.
have one at your desk?
Because there's a lot of plugs already being used at my desk.
All right.
For what it's worth, my phone's at 90%, and it's plugged in.
Mine are charging.
The real
only
reason is
use
I only
my
have one
phone at
charge
work.
cable, and I use it in my room at night.
Why would
Mine
I
is at
need my
100.
phone
It's,
at
it's
my
literally
desk?
sitting on a wireless charging pad.
I don't have
Same
one
here.
of those.
I have a dual
been-
wireless charging pad. Two phones.
I've been
Well,
thinking about getting one
We
of
can't
those.
all be fucking rich kids, all right? Jesus.
Bub's part of the 3% phone club too. God bless.
Plus, if I wind up with a pacemaker, I might lean in and cause myself to get a little wonky.
And make
Oh
my
god,
heart
it's
skip a
charging the
beat.
pacemaker. No.
I wonder if I can just lean in and it'll supercharge my ass. Here we go. Let's go, fans.
I can feel my heart. It's beating with more energy.
That's
That'd be
how you-
really interesting to see if you could do the.
It's the best way to lose weight.
All I'm
the
imagining
new
is
Galaxy
like
Power Share.
Make your
I'm
heart
imagining
beat faster.
what Tweak does when you gave him the Deadpool magnet and he just went
Yeah.
slapped and I'm imagining that but just with a wireless charger just
In the event of a heart attack, begin charging. Yes.
You know, if you've got a
That's
pacemaker,
the future of androids for
The
for
worst
people.
AED ever.
Just gonna slap a fucking charging mouse pad on him. Get it to him! I feel better.
Charge! Literally.
I definitely didn't mean to slap my microphone. I'm sorry if that was loud.
He slapped the shit out of it.
Yeah. That was
No
kind of an
worries,
accident.
Slap that bitch up as much as you want.
People thought it was all
Thanks,
about
Dad.
the defibrillator. Nah. It's about that energizer.
Okay.
Jezebel.
We're gonna go to Ulhime. Since I can tell that he's ready to start role-playing. Floor is yours, boss.
You can tell by the cat.
Yeah.
I mean, so right now, I mean, if I've already gotten contact with Mabu's wife, then from there I would probably still try to work on the manacles that we found.
Okay.
I would take
Let's start first with the statue. You have it. You took all of the time to repair it. Now, the last time we talked, you guys had about 17 days before your friend, Dugobras, was to be slain. If he is not killed by then, you're going to have, literally, the Fire Nation is going to attack.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, I probably would have left the shield with the soul ore with him to forge the shield that I had asked. But from there, I mean, it's checking on Jakob, trying to find witnesses or gather evidence to show that he's innocent.
Okay.
I would probably be talking to Griffin at that point. Because I know he's one of the people involved with what's going on, but yeah, I would probably go talk to him.
Okay, so you wish...
So right now, since we just got back, I repaired the statue.
Yeah. That's going to take some time. Like, it's going to take a lot. It's going to eat up a lot of time. In fact, based on the sheer size of the statue, I'm going to venture to guess that if are you just using mending, or what are you trying to use? Make whole? What are you trying to do?
Yeah, I have make whole already. Because I remember I used it to repair my
it's going to take a few hours.
Yeah, I did that the moment we came back after it broke. After we pulled the chest out.
Wait, what level is make whole?
I think 2nd or 3rd.
How many uses do you have of that a day?
Last time I had it was I spent an hour when I was blind to gather my spells, and I just used all those charges after that.
Okay.
And then with the new stuff that's happening today, I don't have any use.
It's going to take you the rest of the day because you're going to run out of your spell slots in that area, and you're going to have to be able to repray and refocus for an hour to get more uses of that. Each time will take you an hour to return that. So it's going to take you pretty much the duration of the day to repair the statue. Your access to Mavu and his wife, or at least Mavu's wife today, will not really be plausible.
Yeah, I have 5 uses of it per spell slot.
Okay, that's fine. All right. I really have to run to the bathroom. I was trying to hold it, but I'm about to burst. So I'll be back in just a second. You can kind of figure out the process, the order of which you're going to be tackling these projects. I'll be right back.
So how's everyone feel about that Epic Games launcher?
What?
Yep. Borderlands 3 was announced that it's going to be exclusive on the Epic's game launcher for the first 6 months.
Epic's game.
Epic's. So it's very different from Epic. It's Epic's. Completely different.
It's EPIX.
No idea what that is, but okay.
It's actually Epic. The Epic has their own game launcher, like Steam, but they're releasing Borderlands on it first rather than putting it right to Steam. It gets on Steam in 6 months. He's swiping right on the Cellmate app right now. You can see it in his glasses.
I will admit, Tyrone did have me giving him a light.
Did you super like Bubba?
Okay, that's so much better. Jesus.
No. As much as I like Bubba, he just had that gap tooth look that really wasn't doing it for me.
What? Did I come back to more of your personal prison stories?
No. Yes. Oh, I was gonna say the cubic footage of Make Whole is 110 feet at my level of clarity. I don't know.
Lord.
Yeah. I don't know if that changes the speed at which it's.
But you have to have everything, right?
Yeah, I mean everything was there when.
Well, I mean, it was, and it wasn't. Remember, like everything hit, and when it broke, like shit kind of shot all across the area. So you're gonna have to go get all of those parts back. It's still probably gonna take you the remainder of the day.
Okay. But yeah, since it would be pretty late to try and go and find Mavu's wife, I would be that first. Then from there, I guess since I wouldn't be asleep, it would just be once that's finished, find a way to get the statue transported, which I'm assuming there would be actual tools at this point to get that moved out of the temple.
Not particularly. You're not really going to have access to, like, you could get something in the street, but inside the temple is going to be quite a bit harder. How are you intending to move it more than anything?
Once it's brought back together,
and it's been completely pieced together, yeah.
Yeah, I would use animate object and just have it walk outside.
Yeah, that's not actually fucking horrifying at all. A 1-to-1 scale statue of a demon lord just walking through the town. This can
I'm not
go
gonna
just
have
fine.
it walk through the town. It's just gonna be just down the steps.
Okay.
Just like point in direction, just say go, and then it just goes.
All right, so it's animate.
Just slides on his butt down the stairs.
Animate objects. It's a high-level spell. Target one small object per caster level. See text. So, you imbue inanimate objects with the mobility and semblance of life. Each animated object then immediately attacks whoever or whatever you initially designate. An animated object can be any of the non-magical material. You may animate one small or smaller object, or a corresponding number of larger objects as follows. A medium object counts as 2 small. A large object counts as 4. A huge object counts as 8. A gargantuan object counts as 16. Okay, it's not gargantuan, it's huge. And you're casting... Okay, yeah, you'll be able to get that with animate object. So, as much as this pains me to say it, friend, roll a D1000.
You open up a black hole and completely collapse the statue. It's gone forever.
Large person.
You really kept that going for a long time.
9, 12. Okay. 9, 12. Okay, perfect. Perfect. It has very minimal effect. It's not going to offer you really much of anything. This is akin... Oh, this makes a secondary... It's like a sort of pseudo-secondary effect. Luckily, this isn't too bad. Caster. Steel. Caster skin turns to steel, giving them an AR. So you essentially get a permanent armor rating of 18 for 1d6 rounds. In this case, it's going to wear off very quickly. But while you cast, you essentially you feel your skin begin to like adhere and tighten up briefly before you begin to feel like the rest of your body is actually turning to almost like an armor, sort of like your arms are.
So it looked like was it Magni from WoW, where he's pure platinum, except this is all steel.
In your case, I was thinking of Metal Mario.
Yeah, do something similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if that's the case, same thing. I would wait an hour, get the charge back, move it from there.
Okay. That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
How long
You'll
does
wait
it
out the
stay
time.
for?
1d6 rounds.
Okay. Not enough to be cool.
Yeah, it's not like anything that's too extensive. It's not the one that that Will
That's
rolled on the
permanent.
snake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's-
was
it's-
permanent steel.
Ronald is not perma Metal Mario.
Yeah, that would be horrifying.
We come back and he's just solid iron.
With glowing eyes. Yeah, this would be fine.
God, that would look... Remember?
I
when we
feel
were
like if
fighting-
you were steel, I'd have to give you like a negative 60 to swim checks.
Yeah.
Wouldn't matter. I don't breathe.
Yeah.
All I'm imagining is, you remember when we were fighting in the temple and how like he turned, you're like, you see his face is cracked. I'm just imagining Terminator Ronald at that point. Like half of his face is melted off from a fireball spell, and he goes.
That would be awful.
It would be T1000.
Thanks,
Fucking Frankie! God damn it, that was great.
dude.
Just heal that spot, and then you see like the melted metal just go. Just come back and form on. That'd be crazy. But yeah, I would have it move down at that point. Use some gold to get some people near the export area to bring some heavy lifting equipment. That way we can get the statue moved over. Have them
How much
pay for their.
money do you have currently?
I have 3 platinum.
Okay, yeah, that's likely enough that they'll find the tools to shift something of this enormity.
Yeah.
So we'll give you that opportunity to discuss with Mavu's wife. It doesn't need to be very long, but she's going to need the kind of rundown of this, how you acquired it, what your intentions are, what you're hoping to make out of it.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to set the RP for that, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, as we bring it, as it's brought over, I would have one of the guys that's helping us move call her out. bring it to an open area where I guess other larger objects are being handled in the export area.
Okay.
From there, use another command to make the statue step down from the cart so that we don't have to worry about taking time to move it.
Okay.
As she comes out, Ulhime will greet her. Thank you for seeing me on such short notice again.
Pamet, how are you? I'm assuming that you have returned with, very quickly, mind you, have returned with something that you believe will make you much in the way of gold.
I believe so. And then he kind of gestures his hand over to the statue.
She double takes briefly. That's a very particular piece. Where did you get that?
I acquired it from an extra-dimensional plane of the abyss that one of my friends controls.
She turns her head, eyes close. Those series of words, when arranged together, are not very comfortable for me to understand.
It's okay, he didn't need it.
Don't tell her everything. She'll kill herself.
It's here now. Has anyone been harmed in the acquiring of this?
Nothing that we couldn't repair.
So yes, yes, you struggle with answering flatly.
Self-inflicted. It's a long story, but I think the location was already alarming enough.
One I would definitely be interested in hearing another time, but this is fine.
Agreed, but if you're asking if any innocents or civilians within the city were harmed, the answer is no.
Good. And what shall I call this piece, and whom should I contact? Also, how much are you asking for it?
$25,000 to $30,000.
That's a hefty sum. Admittedly, its construction is amazing, but it is just stone, after all. What makes you think this is so valuable?
The stone itself is not from this world. I keep forgetting the demon's name. Sorry.
Orcus.
Orcus. Sorry. It's the demon. It's the demon lord of death, Orcus. I believe anyone. I was told by one of my friends that someone into a cult collecting would find this highly valuable.
I have a few ideas. I have a few ideas of people that I may be able to connect with. Briefly, it will take some time. How long are you hoping to have this here?
As ever long as we can hold it. I mean, I can't really move it anywhere else. If I have to take a cut of loss to have it held here as a rental fee, then I'm more than willing to do so.
A small rental fee.
10%.
I believe that that's too much. I will be taking personally more than that, since we will be fencing your object. We'll find a buyer. Our rate is typically 20%.
Understood.
With a 3% rental fee for anything additional on top of this, regardless of the time. If you wish for me to move this up into priority, I will acquire an additional 2%.
I think it'll be needed. So 25 then.
Agreed. She extends her hand in a very masculine fashion.
He extends his hand as well. Shakes.
She gives you one stern, and her hand falls. Very good. I'll have them construct the writ. You won't need to sign anything until it is sold. We will take necessary measures to protect this object, this Orcus that you've called it. Well done. If it is as valuable as you believe it to be, we shouldn't have too much of a problem finding a buyer. Okay. I'm going to give you a chance here. Huh? If you could do me a favor, give me a 10% range.
1 to 10.
Okay. Give me a 25% range.
1 to 25.
And 50% range, or high and low. Or even and odd.
1 to 50.
Okay. Very good. It's going to take some time. You don't know how long it's going to take, but you need the funds immediately. You have hired a party to handle this for you, so you pretty much have to leave it and trust that the Arlentals will handle this appropriately so.
Yeah, and I mean, I have no reason to not trust her, so she runs the export, she owns it, so I have no reason to think less.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. All right, so you've handled everything there. You said you had something else that you needed to do, right?
Talk to Griffin.
We'll handle that.
Yeah.
We'll handle that in just a moment. I'm going to give the floor to anybody else that would like to try to do anything here. So we have Klaus, we have Thelsa, and we have Cort.
Cort. Cort doesn't really have anything super extensive going on outside of the party's needs.
I kind of want to see Cort have another conversation with Jacob after having turned in... I mean, not Jacob, with Jared after having turned Jacob in.
Well, that's entirely up to Cort to pursue.
That does bring a good point, because Cort did see his friend get arrested, and...
For the record, I would likely be heading to the jailhouse as well.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that a conversation with Mr. Skellering would not be a entirely bad idea.
All right. So would you guys be venturing together?
More than likely.
What about Thelsa? What's Thelsa doing?
I want to go with the cute little dog. I don't have any more family to kill, man.
You'll find more.
I ran out.
Okay. So.
You guys are the closest thing I have.
Start chopping those branches off the tree, man.
Thelsa goes to an orphanage so she can adopt families so that she can later kill them. I need to stock up.
Only previous characters jumped on children in orphanages.
All right. So, the frog, the demon lady, and the 19-year-old white boy go to see the guard captain.
Walk into a jailhouse.
It's literally, it's Major Frog.
Major Frog.
Good use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Call me by my proper name. Slippy.
It's Slippy? Okay. All right.
They're on her tail.
You should marry Jacob so you can be Slippy Rivers.
Dude.
I don't like that.
I want to be clear that if at any point you say do a barrel roll, you'll lose 3 levels permanently.
One of your mods just did, so
he's not in the game. I should take his sword.
That wasn't Slippy's line. That was the rabbit's line.
That was the line. The rabbit's line. Yes.
Slippy was always.
I think it is
always
Peppy.
one.
I can never remember the rabbit's name.
Peppy the rabbit, Slippy, Falco, Wolf, Fox.
Everybody else is just named after the animal they are, and then he's Peppy. Peppy's a fucking rabbit. That asshole. Breaking the norm.
They could have just called him like Harry. The hair. That would have worked.
Well, when you think about what rabbits are known for, you'd be pretty peppy too.
All right, now say pretty peppy 5 times fast.
Pretty peppy, pretty peppy, pretty peppy.
Fucked it up.
The second one.
Pretty peppy, pretty peppy, pretty peppy, peppy. By the end of it, he's just looking at the camera. He's like, "Privyat." Wait, that's not right.
The key to those is to just say it confidently, no matter how much you fuck it up.
Just assume you're right.
He's just looking at Purty Perpy. Purty Perpy. The confidence in his face, but his lips are just stroking out.
It's just wrong.
Perpy Derpy.
Herpy derpy, herpy derpy, herpy derpy.
Okay. So the three of you head to the guardhouse, yes?
Yeah.
Correct.
I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to discuss, right? I'm going to give you a chance to talk this over because you got to have a game plan, at least something that you like to talk about. It's kind of important because if you just walk in, well, things are probably going to go belly up unless you trust that Cort will say the right things immediately.
They still don't know that I'm friends with Skellerang. And at this point, I feel like since Klaus is usually silent and reserved, and Thelsa is bloodthirsty, none of them would probably speak. So Cort might bring up the first sentence of saying, "So, how do we plan on getting him out of jail?"
Well, we could do it the right way, or we could do it our way.
Does our way involve hurting people?
No, but it's certainly not legal.
We should probably avoid that then.
Right. We often do the legal choice.
Definitely.
We should
Has that
try
blood
not...
washed off your hands yet, Thelsa?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It begins. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that was a bus. Just,
It was actually
just driving on past that.
You know, I just kind of stick my leg out a little bit. I don't throw her under. I just, help the process.
Look, I was compelled to kill my family in my house.
And my foot was compelled to put itself out in front of you.
You know, I'm gonna stick to my story. I don't have to lie, but I'm never gonna tell the whole truth.
to take a moment here to reiterate that you're being like semi-threatened by a frog.
I really have to look up.
No,
You don't.
You're looking
You're looking, but your character's head is tilted up.
Yeah, you're just looking straight ahead.
I'm looking straight down at like the below your carapace, right? Yeah.
Look me in my eyes. Looks down to the frog eyes. My real eyes.
Just look around above your head, like I know where your head is. I don't know this body well enough to know your approximation of height.
I don't even know this body well enough to be quite honest with you.
Klaus is like, what's the sudden fascination with my penis? Stop looking at it.
They don't have a penis.
It's the web fingers. They make it that much better.
Look, all I'm saying is, if we leave it to due process, there's no telling when or if Jacob will get out of that jail.
Yeah, but aren't we trying to have the guards help us deal with the vampires?
They don't
If we
need to
go-
know that he's out.
Won't they check his cell?
Potentially.
I feel like they don't like him and they'd check it often. Especially since he's...
I feel like Madame Greenwood. She seems to have a fascination with him.
If he was just another criminal, I think it would make sense, but he seems to be a little bit more important to them.
If they can't find him, they can't really pin anything on us now, can they?
But wouldn't he be at the bathhouse with us?
Perhaps. Doesn't mean they'd see him there.
You're
Have you
gonna
no
see
experience lying?
You're gonna see the intense calculations flying through his head.
Smoke
As-
coming out the
Yeah,
ears.
Steve slowly just rises up. No, I'm not supposed to lie.
Well, then you just won't say anything at all.
Oh.
What are you doing with your hand?
I'm gonna lean over to Klaus, and I'm gonna lean down to Klaus.
You're speaking into my thorax.
Look down, look up. I could always just like deafen him. I mean, you might ask why he can't hear anything, but he's not going to be talking much.
You don't know that. It might make it worse.
I can blind a man, deafen him. That helps. Put him to sleep.
Only if you can mute him. Will I be happy?
Well, you want him alive?
I would prefer it.
Oh, wait, no. You said you were whispering, correct?
You know what would happen if you blinded and deafened him, right? You would show up there and be like, "Did you tell him about how we're gonna break him out? Are we there yet?
Where's Jacob? We're supposed to get him free."
Can we just hit him with a couple?
I just want to point out that we are actively talking about doing to a character what we normally would just do through the quirk system.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there. We are.
What are you talking about? At least. What are you talking about? This is what you guys did to fucking Halalia. You're talking about mind fogging him. So instead of walking in and being like,
to the face, and that was on him. If he stepped 3 feet to the left, maybe he'd have more than one intelligence right now.
Yeah, the angel that I say angel. I don't know what it was that we fought before we fought the spot.
Harvey Birdman, attorney at law.
Yeah, Harvey Birdman, attorney.
Attorney at law. If you will.
No, you mean Harvey Birdman.
Way worse.
You know, one time. Oh!
It was unfortunate.
Okay.
There was so much information that you guys could have gotten from that.
I mean, we did it.
We made him stupid and
we learned how to make oatmeal with your mouth.
You're still salty about that, aren't you?
I mean,
I got the information I needed out of it.
It painted a picture of you guys.
You learned how effective Feeble Mind was.
Just in case you've never watched this game, at one point, they found a caged angelic guardian, made him mentally deficient, and then nerd circled him until he died. And they laughed about it.
To be fair, he did threaten us first.
Yeah, he did. He said he had
once again.
He threatened.
Once again, don't include me in this.
He threatened Jacob.
Hey, you threaten one of us, you threaten all of us. We got shooters out here.
Ah, yes, the Helmet Squad. My bad. Wait a minute. Let's get him, boys.
No, he was part of the Helmet Squad. We were fine.
No, we adapted him into the Helmet Squad.
Slow.
Yeah, this. I want you guys to know, like, this doesn't involve me. I was literally trying to save him.
He's like, look, I don't know those guys. I've never been with those guys. I've never seen those guys.
I don't eat lunch with those guys.
Even at the end, when everyone was, it's like, good job, guys, and you walked on, Ulhime was like, Jacob?
Yeah. Didn't you say that didn't you say you cradled his corpse in your arms crying, saying, I will never forget this, you guys? Or
no, I still have the cardinal feather wrapped on, around Ulhime's gauntlet.
Gotta ditch those feelings, man. Weighing down.
They're tricky things.
Just cut them out. They make you weak. I
do want to go ahead and point out that if I hadn't been there, none of this would have been an issue.
Also, if you weren't there, Occipitus would, not be merged with the celestial plane.
There's that too.
Mm-hmm.
But,
You fucker.
But go ahead, continue on with your guys' planning. Sorry about that.
But yeah, I had to just go ahead and roll deep with this crew, and, unfortunately, they defended my ass. I offered to go ahead and be the bad guy on that.
Are we the baddies?
In that moment, yes. Quite. So
I
can't even refute that. I mean, that's a valid point.
Returning.
What pisses me off is that Jacob was going to go ahead and do the humanitarian thing and just end its suffering. Klaus is like, "Fuck you, Kill Stealer!" Bam. That's my XP.
Klaus took a lot of your thunder that entire time we were in Occipitus.
It's my thunder, thank you very much.
My thunder, my realm, my Birdman.
Listen, I make the lightning. I get the thunder too, okay?
Thunder. The thunder.
I'll call this one thunder and this one lightning.
Yeah.
Oh, Christy, don't.
Fucking swan dive into the night of my life. Swan dive.
Okay. You two are discussing what you're going to do with Cort.
In front of his face.
Yes. Cort, they're literally discussing potentially maiming you. Should we do the thing? Should we do... I mean, Thelsa doesn't really whisper a whole lot.
That's true.
No, I got no reason to whisper. I'll say it right to your face.
It's just like a quiet shout.
Hey, we could kill him?
We could
just like, slit his throat or something.
Is that the frog's voice now? I love it.
Yes, absolutely.
Just
this frog is from the Bronx.
Yes, you just need a really big guy behind him. It's like, what do we do now, guys? What's going on? You see, we slit his throat or something. Yeah.
Give him the good old cauldron necktie.
Cauldron necktie. It's not anywhere near the like. It's actually near like your arm. Knowing us.
It's just hung by the wrist until you get.
What do you say? What do you say to them? Do you say anything at all? They're talking about blinding you, deafening you, figuring out a way to prevent you from spilling the truth.
Cort would probably remove his hand from his face, but not say too much, but keep a mental note of it.
Mental note: my friends are planning to kill me.
Yeah, mental note: these are not the good guys.
Cort looks directly into the camera. See, this is where things went bad. I'm gonna tell all of the truths. It's in my nature.
Yeah.
I'll probably die by the end of this, but what can you do?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can't you just
Cort's not gonna lie. He'll try to be quiet, but he's not gonna lie.
Fair. Okay. All right. We'll push by. It doesn't seem like Cort's gonna have anything else to say. You guys are still probably talking about what your intentions are, but we'll push you to the jail. Okay. The jail. Not really sure what this song is. I'm still learning some of the new music that I've been putting in. This might be, like, way too much.
War bongos.
Okay. You find yourself entering the guard area. The guardhouse is an all too familiar location. You know most of the people here, and they recognize some of you. They've never quite seen the frog. Maybe passings of this info, but nothing so far.
The frog sage, you shall bow to me.
Thelsa, you keep the hood down so as to not draw ire or suspicion. Cort, you stride in.
Yeah, full barrel.
Proudly. You are the knight. You immediately get that sense. When you walk into a room, you kind of define what it's like, and reading the room is much different than normal. You hear something, and I liken this to the equivalent of mom and dad arguing. There are sounds of yelling coming from the guard captain's office. You hear a feminine, almost roar. A few words are yelled, and then another's, a male, very masculine sounding, scream back. This happens for probably 30 seconds, before the door swings open, and Kiana Green walks out. Her eyes just lit with fire. She's very, very angry. She turns around, and as her eyes kind of fall away from looking at the three of you, immediately sizing you up, because it's her job. She's got a profile immediately, determine if you're an immediate threat to her. She looks back to whomever is in the office. Your best guess is probably Skellering himself. She says, "If you don't intend to do anything, then I'll handle this myself. I still believe that you're not quite fit to be the captain of this guard. Stand tall and do what you have to, because I'm going to." She turns, and she marches. Do you part to let her through?
I'm going to step aside, and then I'm going to follow her after her. And I'm going to just pat Klaus, or not Klaus. Yeah, no, Klaus, on the back, whoever I'm nearest. Say, you go deal with the guard captain. I want to see what this is about. and I'm gonna follow after Kiana.
Okay.
Cort might just be walking to the desk to get to, the front, essentially the front desk, to say like, hey, here's my giant sword, so I'm not stabbing people.
Okay.
Maybe hearing all of the yelling, he'd have a swipe? We'll have a swipe called sweat. He'll have just a little bit of a cold sweat. He'd probably just walk to the front. If Kiana runs into him, he's not going to particularly move out of the way. He's just going to kind of move towards the desk.
Sure.
So,
your weapons are collected, and they'll see to it that you immediately get to whomever that you need to see. In this case, it is the guard captain, and you'll be brought to him yourself. You know how to get here. You know how this has gone down pretty much every time since. And that feeling never quite shakes. The room itself is still red, as very terse, tense, and the guard captain himself is just that. He's sweating. He's not exactly thrilled to see your lot, even if it is just Cort and the frog. Part of him immediately believes that it is someone that he should know. And as such, he looks down to you, Frog. And he goes, let me guess, Klaus, right? You're Klaus. You fucking have to be Klaus. Nothing can get worse here. You have to be Klaus. If you're not Klaus, get the fuck out of my office.
Glad to see you too.
What?
Make him pop a vein.
Well, you see, you happen to have one of my friends imprisoned.
Right about that. Look, I want to be sorry, but...
Do you, though?
There are too many people that are stepping forward at this point, proclaiming that he has killed someone or something important to them. And I'm trying to adhere to the law as much as I can, or my position doesn't matter at all. I'll be thrown back to the streets, which honestly wasn't that bad. Personally, I'd like to get back into the thick of it because politics are bullshit. That being said, I'm trying to do damage control. And Jakob's going to trial. There isn't anything that I can say or do about it.
And I take it that you'll see to it his trial is a fair one?
What's really fair about a courtroom? Especially when there are do you have someone that's going to stand and attest to his reputation? And you better not say Ulhime. It can't be any of you. They'll see right through it.
Who knows him better than Ulhime?
You're either going to say something, or you're going to suggest it's you. That's right. Someone that you know, that you trust to speak positively of his reputation. Or he's as good as Gallowed. Now, I know that you and your friends seem to have a way of, surviving terrible things, but it's gonna be it will likely, if he cannot be brought to some truths and the justice is dealt duly so, he's gonna be a little long-necked for a while.
I understand the severity of the situation. My concern is that I don't want him to walk into a courtroom where the jurors have already decided before anyone says a word. Needs a fair shake.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know any of the jurors, though. I'm not told any of this, and they'll be masked so that they cannot be bought. Nobody has any immediate gains from having him hung or strung up, right?
But he's a tiefling. People don't really like that around here.
Yeah, people don't really like most of you. And it kind of stems back to a reputation that even I was a part of. And I'm paying for my own mess. I promise. This isn't all that great. This is messy, even for me. And they plan to make an announcement, apparently about Ulhime. Something is going to come out, likely during trial, or they'll be passing out parchment regarding... I don't know exactly what it is. My guess is it's probably something to do with this new tax. So that's likely... That's 2 feet in, gentlemen. That's looking real bad right now.
You understand my difficult position here.
Yeah, I definitely do. That's why you have to... Come on, guys, you gotta drum up some people that actually look to him as a positive force. He's had to have saved someone that isn't immediately tied to you.
He got back Griffin's wife. He stole it from The
problem is...
Nabthatarn?
The problem is Griffin's wife is one that have named him as a murderer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cort, he killed a child.
Not on purpose, though.
That doesn't beget the crime. It still happened. That's negligence at the very least. And people have died for less. You gotta get this, kid. Like, that has to make sense to you. If you have the power to protect and you accidentally harm, you have to pay the price.
They did try, though, and he's gonna look to Klaus. Didn't you guys go to that scary place? Looking down at Senor Floppy Legs.
My legs are firm, thank you very much. But, we did everything we could to save the boy, but I can't refute what he's saying. The harm never should have come to him in the first place.
What else is he being charged with?
Murder. Heaps of it. It keeps coming in. And admittedly, I think some of it probably has to do with the fact that he's got some demon blood in him. But some of it I also think is not the case. People feel wronged. And I don't blame them. Now, I don't know the situation. I don't. But you're right. He needs proper representation. But they're not about to start appointing people. They're not going to help him out here. It's going to take you guys finding people to help him out. Who do you really think they're going to believe? Do you think they're going to believe a demon man with a history of and reputation of killing many people, many other beings, mind you, or a woman who just found her way back, who has a storied reputation in this town of supporting the guard, and her son just died? Now, I still don't know exactly how she got back, nor do I really care. But she's back, and Griffin Malek's happy. But he's simultaneously sad, because his youngest boy is gone. I don't know what to think of it. And honestly, when I was with Klaus, when I was with you, Griffin was the one that would swear up and down that we were good people. And now he's not saying a damn thing.
How long do we have?
3 days. They're moving this fast. It's normally under a month's time.
Is there any way you can make it not go so fast?
Yes, let me shit a few extra days out here. Now, Cort, that's not in my wheelhouse, buddy. I don't have that kind of power.
You may not.
What do you mean?
I mean, there are ways that we could buy time.
I'm not quite sure what you mean. I'm not quite sure I want to know what you mean either. I know you've got tricks, Klaus, as I've seen.
I just gotta ask, where is he talking to? He's talking to the frog guys, correct?
Yeah.
So my point is, you don't need to know, but there are ways we could get more time if that's what we need. If that's what it takes to save him.
Well, people are quite unhappy. I mean, they're damn right red and angry. This is festered far too long. So you have to bring something, a positive notion, someone that there literally has to be someone, right? Like, what about that guy? What was his name? Out in the woods. You know, we helped him with that tongueless kid.
Are you speaking of Balthar?
Yeah, whatever his name is, the bugbear guy, right?
Yeah,
he's one of those wardens.
He looked a lot like this.
He's a warden. They've got clout, right? Like, he can come and speak on his behalf.
He can try. If he's not stoned on the way into the village. I mean, you know as well as I do that he was never looked upon particularly highly around here.
Yeah, but now he's leading, right? Like, nobody else has taken control of the wardens.
The people of Cauldron, they don't see the help that people like Balthar and even ourselves provide. You know this as well as I do. You ran with us. The things we do they're behind the scenes, and because of that, no one will speak on our behalf. Nobody knows that we've saved countless lives.
Out of game, just for remembrance here. Was Jacob around when you went to Red Gorge, or was that Jared?
That was after. Jared was the one who fought Nabikins.
Okay.
We found Jared on the way back.
Jacob on the way back.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Jacob and Ulhime were on our way back from the fight with Nabikins on the way from Red Gorge.
Yeah, we had stopped there briefly to pick up supplies.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you intend to do?
Punch him in the face.
We'll figure something out. Again, it's probably best if we never had this conversation.
Hey, you were never here. Doesn't matter anyway. You're gonna look different next time I see you.
You're not entirely wrong about that. Watch your back. It's not a threat. It's advice.
Right. By the way, Cort. Thank you. You did the right thing. I know that it was probably hard. It was probably difficult for you to thumb Jacob and tell us exactly where.
Hey, hold on.
Tell us exactly where he was, but thank you. You've done the right thing.
Did you just this Cort?
I didn't
Yes.
know that you were gonna come arrest him. You said he'd be fine.
He is fine. He's locked up.
But
can't hurt anybody.
We still need him for the whole vampire thing. With him behind bars, what if those vampires get out, or what if they beat the orcs?
Well, then we're all doomed, right? What exactly is Jacob going to do that's any different than a 200-300 orc army?
Doesn't he have fire?
Jared?
I don't want to assume that you're super naive here, but I've seen my fair share of vampires, and a little fire can go a long way, but if anything that you're saying is accurate, looking over to Klaus, a little fire isn't going to take out 1,000 vampires. I'm not very good at math, so take that as you will.
Jared, the fire is the last thing on my mind right now. If you'll excuse us, we're going to take a walk.
Oh boy.
Good luck. As soon as you find someone...
Oh, he'll need it.
As soon as you can find someone that can speak in his favor. Step 2. And I'm going to do everything in my power to keep Kiana off his ass, because she wants to see him burn. Good luck.
Again, watch your back.
Cort's gonna have the look of a kid who just got brought to the principal's office and had their parents come and pick them up. Very...
Did I hear him right?
Are you
Please tell me
assuming that you've walked out at this point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We're exiting the guardhouse.
Okay.
Yeah, basically he's giving you that, oh god, Dad's gonna beat me with the jumper
Yeah.
again look.
Oh god, I'm getting the belt again.
I'm assuming that you collect your weapons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I hear him right in there? Tell me I didn't hear him right.
Look, he said that nothing would happen. He just wanted to know where he was. He didn't tell me that he was under trial or that he was being framed for stuff.
You have a lot to learn about this town. When someone says they're looking for one of us, generally it's not a good idea to tell them where we're at. If words need to be had, we'll find them.
But what if it's an emergency?
It's always an emergency.
He's just gonna kind of sulk a bit.
Do you see the situation we're in now?
Yeah.
Do you know that Jacob might hang for what you've said?
I didn't tell him anything about Jacob. I just said we were at the bathhouse.
Cort, give me a wisdom save. Go ahead and click on your wisdom for me.
Yeah, sure. That's not the right page. This is the right page. Get ready for a big modifier here. That almost was a 1.
Okay, sure. Cort, you recognize what it is Klaus is saying, and there are some truths here. You know that much. But most importantly, you recognize that if you maintain the Knight's Code, you do what's right for the people. You don't necessarily feel like you did anything too terrible, but it certainly put Jacob in some hot water.
It's not one of those... It's one of those, like, I'm sorry I did it kind of things. Because he's not the one who stabbed the people.
Right.
So, it's not going to wreck him to his core, but I guess it's like when you're sorry for being caught, rather than being actually sorry that you did something.
Well, I do want to point out that technically I didn't stab him either.
No, you electrocuted
technically
him.
did stab him.
And you stabbed the kid with black tentacles.
You stabbed the kid who killed the priest
I
with his own dagger.
One, I electrified the other, and I...
Thank you, Dr. Doom.
And while I did mutilate the corpse...
Okay, Kevorkian, calm down.
The one you didn't stab was the one who hung himself. You are correct in that assertion. 1 out of 4.
No. One was crushed to death. One was electrocuted. The other one was, well, driven away from all sense of hope. And I'm not guilty of killing anybody by stabbing, is my point. I just felt the need to correct that.
They're much more painful flavors of death for
you just provided a child a week-long death of black tentacle pain.
Okay.
Probably would have been easier to stab him.
Is there any more dialogue between Klaus and Cort?
Not above my breath. Anything else just gonna be mumbles and grumbles.
Cort's gonna kind of walk like the dog that you're berating. After he's tipped over a trash can, I guess.
Okay. All right.
This is your tail between your legs and whimper a lot, or put your ears down. I mean, what's the?
You see the eyes
in here. You know when you come home slowly. And you look at your dog and you're like, something's up. Like they're sitting on their bed, they're giving you like the dog eyes, and you're like, what did you do? What did you do? It's that kind of.
I can already see the defenses piling up here in favor of Jacob. Look, see, it just so happens that everybody's allergic to steel. Who knew? Acute steel poisoning is the worst.
After having this conversation with Cort, I almost want to go back to the guardhouse, and specifically to the jailhouse, and just, like, sit him in front of Jacob's cell, like, rubbing his nose in it. Just,
you did this! Bad!
This is because of you!
Just spank him with the sheath of his weapon. You're an idiot!
With that accent, too.
Please, we don't need a frog spanking a teenager in the jail in front of a very confused tiefling.
More than that, I'm pretty sure that there are some of those people in there like, yeah, I can fap with this. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm cool with this on a Sunday. Let's do it.
Well, it's either this or a brick wall, so...
This is the most action I've seen all week. Let's get at it, guys.
You just hear, hit him harder! Yeah, he's an idiot. Tell him he's a stupid oaf. He can't read good. This is fine.
Call him a maroon.
Oh, that's right. Say it again, you boob. You just fucked up, you boob.
Yeah. Santa got all my lettuce. Oh, perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to head over to Innie. Innie, you've decided to follow Miss Kiana Green.
Yeah.
I'm going to change your music a little bit. Something a little less humdrum serene. We're going to put you back on the Heatherton sound here. All right, friendo. What is your intentions?
I just want to see what that whole thing was about, and I like Jared. Yep, Jared. And I just want to make sure that no, Jared.
Oh.
And I just want to make sure that it's not going to go head over heels.
Okay.
Because also I don't really want to be in the same room as Cort and Jared at the same time. I feel like a lot of tension's going to be there with the whole being knighted and not having the sword. And
I mean, Jared was cool.
Yeah, but
he was fine with me.
Yeah, Cort was not.
Honestly, though, if Thelsa was there, what would Thelsa have said or done? You're just like, well, it's not my ass in the fire.
I mean, if you step down from guard captain and she can meet up, I mean, there's always position for me. Then everyone looks at me and is like, hey, well,
Ah, yes, this looks like a guard captain.
Go back to the hell you crawled out of.
Okay. So you follow. For how long? Do you approach her personally, or you just kind of watch where she's going?
I'm going to try and catch up to her.
Okay.
And step alongside her and say, that was quite a argument.
That should be a little bit better for those listening. Okay. She pauses for a moment. She looks to you. Is something wrong?
No. I just like both you and the guard captain, and I hate to see you two fight.
Do I know you?
It's unlikely.
So then why do you like me?
Because I've heard of your work.
So you've heard of my work. That's not the strangest thing I've heard all day.
I've heard significantly stranger today. I run with, you know, the lot that's somewheres between locked up in jail and trying to convince the guard captain to get them out of jail. You know, the one you like a lot.
Oh, I know who you are. I saw you with them. I see what you mean by you traveled with them.
Yeah, I wouldn't declare that I was part of their party, because sometimes that's not the best thing to, especially knowing their reputation and how you feel about them. About us.
So you've decided what? You think you would follow me and butter me up so that I could lose my concern for a miscreant creating misdeeds in the city that I'm trying to offer aid to?
Nope, I think he deserves everything he's gonna get. That's not why I came to see you. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay, because if you or Jared cannot take care of this town, Lord knows our crew can't. Not without leaving a mess behind.
Are you bluffing?
No, I know that we're gonna leave this place a shithole if they don't come around. We've been doing it everywhere else.
Were you bluffing about what's happening to him?
Yeah.
Then give me a bluff.
I do kind of, but not that much. It's just like someone's taking a slave away from me. I'm not very happy about it.
Sure. Now you have to do things yourself.
Yeah, right?
Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. I don't really know anything about you. I just know that you travel in his company. He's done a lot of terrible things. He's hurt a lot of people. And I aim to see him pay.